And we are live. Welcome back for another Deadline stream. How are we doing today? Gameweek 10 is here. We're back to Saturday deadlines again. We've got a big day of football ahead. Big day of FPL ahead. We've got Arsenal, City and Liverpool all playing today. So, yeah, it's an exciting day of FPL when lots of big hitters. Potentially lots of captaincy swings. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to have another week of FPL back. Welcome to the stream. Razvan, Goat himself, Sam, Jackson, Edzo, Kieran, Rongson, Andreas, Arben, Pratik. Just checking that I'm central on the camera here. I realised with about 20 seconds before the countdown finished that I hadn't done my green screen, so I just rushed to do that, but I think we're all good. I've changed my stream setup, so I think this is going to work better now. I've got like the chat central here on this screen, so I can kind of read everything a bit easier now. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Good to have you all back. Good morning all. Welcome Garage, welcome Ash. Good to see lots of members. Immortal Technique. Has anyone gone Haaland to Salah? That feels like the big one this week. Big call, that one. Massive call. I feel like it's going to be a swingy one, and I'm not sure which way that one's going to go. But if I had two transfers, I'd be genuinely tempted. But I only had one transfer this week, so I'm keeping Haaland. That's my plan. Maybe I'll end up with Salah in Gameweek 12 if he smashes it the next couple of weeks. But as it stands, keeping Haaland. Phillips looking to make the switch next week. Oh yeah, of all the talk of Haaland to Salah, I don't think there was that many transfers out for Haaland this week. Just like a few 100,000. Jackson pulled the trigger on the wildcard to get rid of Haaland. Yeah, if I was wildcarding this week, I would have Salah, Palmer, Saka as my midfield threemium. FPL Worm in the chat, he says we're back. We are officially back. Another deadline stream. Hopefully my mic's not too loud. I've just turned it down a notch. Is that better? How we doing, Jan? Welcome to the stream. Will Gabriel and Vardy be available this week? Yeah, that's the big question. I've got a few bits of information on Gabriel. First of all, there was some footage of training, and he was spotted in that. There he is on the left. You see him there. There was no actual footage of him training, but I mean, we know that he can stand in a circle for what that's worth. So he was spotted there in the video that Arsenal posted. But there was a tweet from Con Harrison. I believe it's reliable, and they said Gabriel has travelled with the Arsenal squad ahead of the game versus Newcastle tomorrow. So he tweeted that yesterday. So that's today. So that's a bit of news on Gabriel. Seems positive. Reportedly avoided a serious injury in his knee, so that's good. And then we've not really had anything on Vardy, but shout out to FPL Heisenberg, who found, I don't know how he found this, a Croatian news outlet reported that Vardy should be fine. And if you want to find his tweet for the full thing, it's there. I've forgotten the name of the news outlet now, but I actually googled, are they reliable? And they seem to be one of the biggest Croatian news outlets, so perhaps that's reliable. So I actually think, all things considered, I think they've both got a good chance of starting. And I think both are actually likely to start than not. So, yeah, good news for anyone here that's got Gabriel or Vardy, or both in my case. I've got Pedro Porro on my bench. Do you guys think that's the right play? I either start Rodgers or I start Pedro Porro. And it seems really close. But obviously Van de Ven's picked up this injury. He's out until after the international break. Rodgers got a full rest in the League Cup as well. I mean, Villa really rotated heavily, so I've pushed Pedro Porro to my bench and I've started Rodgers. Game and Salah Edit says start Rodgers. Cal says bench Porro. Yeah, Colin says Rodgers full rest. A-Lad is starting Rodgers as well. Yeah, I think it makes sense to me. Might go wrong. This could be the game where Porro actually does something, but it's hard to imagine Spurs keeping a clean sheet, because they're not keeping many as it is. And now they've lost Van de Ven. Do you guys remember the start of last season? Or maybe not the start. It was around Gameweek 10, I think. Spurs were in incredible form start of last season. Not so much this season. But Van de Ven got injured. And it completely derailed their season for like that 9-game stretch. They kept one clean sheet in the 9 games that Van de Ven was out. And that was away at Forest. And I think that was before Nuno came in as well. 1 clean sheet in 9 without Van de Ven. Your voice sounds like AI. I know. I get that comment a lot. What can I do? I can't help my voice. Maybe in the future I'll be able to just get AI to do all my videos for me. Who knows where AI is headed. No, I think there's always going to be an appetite for like the human touch on content. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some great AI content that pops up in the coming years. Not just in FPL content, but in general. But I think people are always going to like the human elements of content, especially these deadline streams. Did you guys see Saka went up last night? These are the price changes. So last game week, over 1 million sold Saka, and he went down. This game week, like 300,000 have brought Saka back in, and he's gone up. I don't know. I don't get the price changes. I'll never understand them, the algorithm. So who went up? Saka went up. Boomer went up last night. Keane went up. Pickford, Jimenez, and Van Dijk. Havertz went down. That's about... Oh, Solanke went down as well last night. Interesting. This is from my site, fpl.page, by the way, if anyone wants to check it out. Or search FPL Focal in the App Store. Completely free. Edzo says, why do I feel people moving from Haaland to Salah will regret it soon? Yeah, it's one of those, like, I can't really recommend for or against it. It feels really close. The case you can make against it is actually using up 2 free transfers. But the case you can make for it is Salah's on more points than anyone. He's got 2 home games and then Southampton. City are missing so many players. Like, reportedly, they could have like 13, maybe 14 senior players this game week. Maybe just like 13. So they've got a lot of injuries. A lot of players out. So that could diminish Haaland's service. You can really make a strong case either way. Depending on what your opinion is on that. So it's a super close one. I can understand it. I can understand it. Colin says your app is awesome, mate. It's my go-to. Appreciate that, Colin. Thanks everyone that still uses the app. 24k Wilds. The day 116 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Joe Antro says, morning, mate. Do we have any news on McNeil? Yeah, I updated the thing on the left, the team news widget, and basically Dyche said he has a chance. There was a tweet from El Bobble, who's really reliable for Everton, and he'd said yesterday that McNeil hadn't trained yet. So it's really hard to say, but probably 50-50 for making the game at best. Connor Jones, love the app, especially for live ranking. Yeah, it's great. You can plug in your ID and you'll get your rank instantly. Instantly. Richard says, Captain Pole, bruv. All right, let's get Captain Pole going for Richard. Yeah, actually, this week it's a lot more interesting because the last few weeks it's felt like Haaland's just been all over the polls. But this week, I mean, there's a lot more options. We'll go Haaland, Salah, Palmer, and other. So if you go other, message and chat. And let us know who your other is. Luke's the super chat. He says, Foden and Gabriel to Saka and Konate. Or Dallo. Or Foden and Solanke to Saka and Cunha. Could do all 3 players out from -4. Or even a cheeky Haaland to Salah. For me, the Foden-Solanke combo's way better. I wouldn't really want to be selling Gabriel. I feel like Solanke's more of a sell than Gabriel is. Like this, all we've got to go on is Gabriel was spotted in the training yesterday. There he is. And then we had that tweet from Con Harrison that said Arsenal has travelled with the Arsenal squad. So to me, it seems like there's a good chance he plays. Obviously, Solanke's fine as well, but he's taken 2 shots in the last 3 game weeks. Like he was poor against City as well. He looked knackered. I've actually done the Solanke to Cunha move myself, so I'm a bit biased, but I think that's much better with 2 free transfers. So I would go for that, Luke. Thanks for the support. Nooney says, Captain and Rutter. J Cam's Captain and Boomo. Did you do it last week, Jay? If you did it last week, fair play. Got to be careful with points chasing, though, because it is a harder fixture this week. Like last week was the fixture. They've got Leicester home coming up, which is a nice one. Actually, yeah, I wonder if I'll captain him for that Leicester game, because Palmer's home to Villa. Haaland's got Liverpool. I think I'll have Saka by then. He's away at West Ham. Maybe I'll end up captaining Mbumo that week. Mbumo, sorry, with an M. Mbumo. Jurgen says, how do we know Delap starts? So I came across a guy on Twitter who's been posting the lineups correctly for quite a while. So he seems to be reliable. He's been posting the full 11 and including like stuff that no one predicted, like Delap being benched last week for Hurst. And the team he posted has Delap back in the team, so I thought I'd chuck that down there. And Vijay says, hey Oscar, please rate this team. Fleck and Lewis, Vardy, or 8 Norwich, Salah and Bumo, Garnacho, Rodgers, Cunha, Watkins and Haaland. It's a great team. Is that a wildcard, Vijay? It's a really, really strong team, that. I can't fault any of the picks, to be honest with you. Like, if money was no object, I'd still have Raya over Fleckham, but it's a great team. Yeah, I've got no suggestions, anything I'd change there, to be honest with you. No Arsenal defence, which you might want soon, but you know, you've got the option to go like Vardy to Gabriel when City have got Spurs and Liverpool. Lovely team, Vijay. Crispy Bacon, of course these show up after being bang on about triple captaincy last week. He said, you're going to regret this, Oscar. Hey, to be fair, did anyone else triple captain Haaland last game? I felt like that was proper unlucky. The second highest XG he's ever registered in a Premier League game. Ever. Missed a lot of big chances. I feel if he just one of those big chances, if he gets them in, suddenly he's on for free bonus. He's got the brace points. It's a different story, but it's the way it goes. You were right, Crispy Bacon. I'll give it to you. Hi, he says, hi Oscar. Pick 2, bench 1. Gabriel, 8 Nori and Anderson. I'd go Gabriel and 8 Nori, I would say, and bench Anderson. I think Arsenal, let's check the clean sheet odds. I feel like Arsenal were actually quite high this week. Yeah, they're third on the clean sheet odds this week. So they're only 5% ahead of Fulham, to be fair. But Gabriel's got more goal threat than Anderson, and he's got better clean sheet odds. And then, obviously, Wes Wolves, 25%, Fulham 29%. So you're trading off the 4% of 8 Nori there to Anderson's 29% for the upside that 8 Nori's got. So I think, yeah, I'd stand by what I said there. Edzo, thanks for the 8 months membership. He says, Havertz, Foden, Evan Nilsson, or Saka, Raul Jimenez and Cunha. I think the second one's way better. Not even close, personally. Saka, Jimenez and Cunha. I don't really rate the Evan Nilsson pick. FPL 1, what to do with McNeil? It's really hard to say because all Dyche said is he has a chance. We know he hadn't trained all week up to Thursday, so maybe he trained yesterday. I'm not sure about that. I'll keep an eye in case there's any like leaks during the stream about if he trained today, for example. I'd be tempted to get rid if I had him. But who are the options to replace? Like, there's not many. Semenyo looks great from Gameweek 11, but this week he's got City, so that doesn't really work. Rodgers is okay, I think, away at Spurs. You could look anyone going Man United mids, or you wait until Gameweek 11. Like Amorim, new manager bounce from next week. What's their fixtures next week? I think it's like Ipswich, Leicester, Everton. That might be in the wrong order, but it's something like that from Gameweek 11, 12, 13. But yeah, I don't really have the option to go there in my team. My plan for the next few weeks is to basically get Saka back in. So Game Week 12, I could do Johnson to Saka, and then I could do one of Gabriel or Vardy down to like a 4 mil defender. Or maybe I'd sell Porro as well to get 2 4.5s, perhaps, just for better depth, because otherwise I've got Lewis instead, which I don't really want to count on Lewis every week. Although Pep did say the other day, we can't afford to rest Lewis. So right now, like Lewis is going to be playing every game based on what Pep said. So I think Walker's out till after the international break as well. Daniel might do McNeil to Garnacho. Yeah, I like that. Is Van Nistelrooy managing this game week? Is that what's going to happen? And then from Game Week 11, Amorim. Son or Salah? Salah. Andreas, thanks for the 33 months. He says, okay, so is this the week? Is this the week when holding on to Nkunku finally pays off? He went down again last night, didn't he? He's 5.9 mil now. I don't know if there's ever going to be a week where it's worth it. I mean, at some point he'll score, but if you still got him, I would be getting rid, Andreas. But I don't believe you've still got Nkunku after all this time. The mad thing is, he's been starting in Europe and smashing it. So we just got it the wrong way round. We should have bought him in Europa Conference League Fantasy. I don't even know if that's a thing. Super chat. Hi, mate. Can you rate my team as well? He's got Fleck and Trent, Lewis, Norrie, Palmer, Bumo, Johnson, Smith-Rowe, Haaland, Calvert-Lewin and Cunha. 1 free transfer already. Did Solanke to Cunha. Benches Fabianski, Rogers, Porro and Greaves. Yeah, really good team to be fair. Well-rounded. Obviously Calvert-Lewin's the only thing that leaps out here. But I think you can afford to just leave it 1 more week and then get rid of him after that. And you'll have more flexibility from Gameweek 11 with 2 free transfers. So, yeah, I'd leave it as it is. I don't think you need to make another move here. It's a nice team. Strong bench as well. We should have Greaves back from Gameweek 12, so he's on his way back soon. Addresses, I know I still have him. Sunk cost fallacy. I mean, you've got to be getting rid. He's not in the starting 11. That's the problem. You've got to be getting rid of Nkunku. I mean, you could wait 1 more week if you want, and then there's more options next week, like Semenyo. Like, I'm still planning to hold on to Semenyo for a while. The fixtures turn nice after City. Like, Brentford are conceding loads, and they're home to Brighton, Wolves, Spurs, Ipswich, West Ham. It's quite a nice run. All the way till the new year, really, so I'm hoping to keep hold of Semenyo. Hi, Focal. Would you play Vardy over Rogers this game week? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would start Vardy over Rogers, yeah. Salah or Palmer? I mean, in isolation, Salah's better, but obviously you're talking about, whatever it is, 1.8 mil between them. But yeah, if I had to pick one right now, it'd be Salah. Oscar, your best pods from now. What's pods? Podcasts? PODs? Players on decline? What's POD stand for? Will Son start? I put something about Son in the left-hand side as well when it comes back up in a sec, the team news. Postecoglou basically said he'd done a training session yesterday. Where is it? Son trained, this was yesterday, and if he gets through today's training session, he should be okay and in the team. So it sounds like there's a very good chance he's back this week. Point of difference. What does point of difference mean? Differentials? Dr. Yazam over Super Chat as well. Thanks very much. He says, hey Oscar. 1, who would you bench in order? And 2, what do you think of the team? And 3, what would you change? So Kelleher, Fabianski, Porro, Vardy, Lewis, Justin, Anderson, Bumo, Rogers, Son, Palmer, Salah, Cunha, Rao and Solanke. Let me just pull up the fixtures a sec. So Leicester away Ipswich. So you start Kelleher, you bench Fabianski, Vardy, Lewis, Justin, Anderson. I feel like you probably start Porro. You start Porro over Justin and Anderson, just about. And then the midfield, you start in Bumo, Son, Palmer, Salah, Cunha, Rao, Solanke. So you bench Rogers. So you bench Fabianski, you bench Justin, Anderson, and Rogers. In terms of the order, I'd say Rogers first, and then Justin, and then Anderson. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, I'd go with that. Sell Eze or hold 2 free transfers right now. He's out for the next 2 game weeks, so it really depends on who you've got to play instead. Sure, like if you've got the depth, it's not the end of the world to hold him for a couple of weeks. But Facts. Facts. Stop leaving comments about my app being incomplete. It's not a planner app. It's not a planner app. Stop being incomplete and incorporate one. I don't know what to tell you. Use fpl.team or planfpl.com. I saw your complaint in my comments as well about the app being incomplete, but it's not a planner app. It's a dashboard. It gives you just loads of FPL information at a glance. That's the purpose of it. It's not a planner app. It's an FPL dashboard. So you've got all sorts of information. Your live rank, bonus points, you know, top 10k stats, price changes, fixture ticker. You're getting it mixed up for something else. So I can't help you with that. I'd recommend planfpl.com or fpl.team. Ojako, thanks very much for becoming an FPL Focal member as well. Thanks for your support. Appreciate that. Leslie says, love the dashboard. It's perfect to quickly get the information you want. That was my end goal. I just figured there was a gap in the market for an FPL dashboard that's just got all the information you want. But yeah, don't get it mixed up with a planner tool. There's already some great ones out there, and I'm not planning to compete with those. It's kind of filling its own niche, something that didn't previously exist. Yo, Oscar, how do you make them graphics and animations? I use video editing software called Camtasia, and then I use Photoshop to just make my graphics, basically. I didn't know anything about editing videos or Photoshop when I started the channel, so anyone can do it. Like, when I looked at my videos a year ago, I think, oh my god, the quality of these is terrible. At the time, I was like, this is amazing. And then I looked at my content a year before that, and I was like, oh, that was terrible. So, like, when you go back on my channel, there's, like, I think, massive improvements year on year. And I hope to continue that. Same for the thumbnails. Like, the old thumbnails was shocking. So, I'm always trying to improve the channel. Try not to get comfortable. Thoughts on McNeil and Haaland? -4 to Saka and Cunha. I personally wouldn't sell Haaland for a -4 for Saka and Cunha. I don't think that's worth it. You can maybe justify it for Salah and Cunha, but I don't think I'd take a hit to sell Haaland to buy Saka. I really like the Cunha pick. Like, if you look at Wolves' fixtures, they're just so good all the way till the new year, basically. They've got 3 home games in the next 4, including Southampton, Gameweek 11. And really, you don't want to start selling them till like 29th December here. You could probably play them against Spurs even. You could probably get away with Forest home. And then we're talking about 15th January, where you could start to shift him on. So I like him because he's just so central to everything that Wolves do. I mean, he's their main man. Last season, 12 goals, 7 assists in 29 starts. So I think he's a solid long-term pick, which is why I picked him up. I sold Solanke. Jan did the same. He says he traded Solanke to Cunha, but he kept DCL. I did the same move, Solanke to Cunha. Obviously, you miss out on that Ipswich home fixture, but I think Villa's not going to be an easy game. Senya Lump says, morning Oscar, wishing you a good game, love you. Thanks very much, Senya Lump. Appreciate your support. But obviously, although you miss out on Ipswich home, you've got Southampton home coming for Cunha, so it's not all bad. Garyon says, Vardy capped him. Not for me. Not for me. He doesn't feel like enough of a goal threat. Like, he doesn't shoot often. He averages like a shot a game, Vardy. I know he's clinical and he's learnt in his age to kind of just get in the right positions, and he's still delivering, chipping away, but I wouldn't be captaining Vardy. I mean, these are the top game week projections this week from FPL Review. I'd rather go for any of these over Vardy, personally. Salah's top this week, 7.6. Haaland, 6.5. Palmer, Saka, Foden, Solanke and Bumo. Jude Brawl Stars, hello Focal. Which 2 would you sub out of Gabriel Aina, Mikalenko, Rogers and McNeil? I'd bench McNeil because he's a big doubt anyway. To be honest, he might either start or not play at all, but I think I'd just not take the chance if he's not, or if he's barely back to fitness, might not be at all. So I'd bench him. I'd start Gabriel and Rogers. But it's which two would you sub out? So I think I'd sub out Mikalenko as well and start Aina with the home fixture. Bench one out of Gabriel, Aina and Mikalenko. So same combination as Brawl Stars. I'd bench Mikalenko, I would say, with the away fixture. Strand Larsen starts. Yeah, he should start every game. Andrew says, morning, who would you bench out of Nori, Lewis and Porro? I think I'd actually bench Porro. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty low confidence in the Spurs clean sheet. Villa's a tough fixture. I know it's a home game, but Villa is not an easy fixture. Plus now Van de Ven's out. So I guess Dragusin comes in at left centre-back. Just doesn't fill me with confidence this week. I mean, don't get me wrong. Wolves don't really inspire confidence with clean sheets either, but they've got a better fixture and he's, equally if not more attacking right now. Hopefully for all you Nori owners, he can avoid a yellow card because he is on 4 yellows, by the way. I should point that out if anyone's looking to buy him. It's not enough reason to avoid him, but it's something to be aware of. Like if he gets booked this game week, he's going to miss Southampton home, which would be a shame. Anurag says, would you sell Solanke for Cunha now, also with one free transfer? Considering Nunes at 4.9 mil. Also, who do I start out of Flecken and Fabianski? Yeah, I'd one free transfer, Anurag, and I did Solanke to Cunha. For me, it was also partly to tee up buying Saka back, because I can get to Saka in 2 moves in Game Week 12 with the money I've freed up. But I do think it's a good move this week, and I'd probably do it regardless. I don't know about Nunes. The problem is, when Doku or Grealish are back, then he's massively under threat for minutes. Like, if you still had your wildcard and you're going to use it Game Week 12, maybe in that scenario you could consider him. Like, he's playing pretty well at the moment, and this is his chance, really, because everyone's injured, but I don't think I'd go there. Like, if anyone's playing draft, I'd pick him up on draft. Does anyone here play draft? Let me do a poll on that. Oh yeah, Captain Poll, 57% Haaland, 31% Salah, 8% Palmer, 4% other. I'm guessing almost all of you don't play draft, but I'm just interested to see what the results are like. Because obviously with draft, there's no like overall player count. Poll is up. Do you play draft? If anyone doesn't know what draft is, you play in your own little league. I think it's up to 16 managers. But you take it in turns, drafting a player into your own team. And if you draft a player, no one else in your league can have that player. So it's quite a fun, different way of playing FPL. And it's good if you've got like a good group that you play with. I've played with a group for like the last, I don't know, 4 years. And it's good fun. And you can like trade players and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're lucky, you draft like first or second. And then you can just scoop up Haaland or Salah. But I don't think it's particularly popular. I think it's more popular in America, the draft style game. Leslie, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member. Thanks very much, Leslie. And Ajiko as well. Thanks very much for that. If anyone else wants to be a member, it's the join button below the stream. It supports the channel. It helps to allow me to do this full time, daily videos and streams. You get a badge by your name. You get the members channel Discord, the members league. And some other perks like that. And the focal emojis, I keep forgetting to mention those. Check those bad boys out. Arctic Beret, please, I need to know whether Vardy will start in your opinion. My best guess is that he does start. Same answer to Trishawn about Vardy. My best guess is that he starts, yeah. Well, did anyone see what Guardiola said in the press conference? Let me see if I can find it. So Pep was asked, who are your injured players from the League Cup? And his answer was, tomorrow you will know it. That was it. That's all he said. Tomorrow you'll know it. So it's guesswork, but in case you missed it, shout out to FPL Heisenberg, who found a Croatian news outlet reporting that Vardio should be fine. I'm sure you all know, but Vardio's Croatian, and these are like a major news outlet in Croatia. And you can just pull up his Twitter if you want to look at it more. So he said he's fine. He felt a little adductor, but today's going for a massage and he'll probably play on Saturday. A source close to Guardiola told us. So make of that what you will. But yeah, useless from Pep. Hopefully that helps with your super chat as well, Match your podcast. Thanks for your super chat. Appreciate that. James says, Guardiola has no hair. No wonder he's not useful. Is there a correlation between the amount of hair you have and how useful you are? I don't know about that one. I'm sure some people that are bored watching this like, bro, what? Connor Jones, thanks for the super chat. He says, this week I swapped Haaland for Raul Jimenez and got Salah for Onana. I plan to replace Havertz with Vissa and move Eze to Saka the next 2 weeks using my 2 free transfers after the break. That seems like a solid plan to me. I like that. As I was saying earlier, like Haaland to Salah it's a really difficult one to recommend for or against. If I had 2 free transfers, I would have been super tempted this week. Really tempted. But I only had 1, so I don't really have a choice. Instead, I'm keeping Haaland and just focusing on other areas of my team. But I mean, yeah, Onana, he's a dead pick. So that makes sense. And then Havertz to Vissa. Yeah, I mean, if that's next week, it's okay, but we are running out of good Brentford fixtures, but I do think it's still good because you've got Bournemouth home, Everton away, Leicester home. You could probably keep for these two. You might be able to keep him even longer. I mean, this season, only Haaland's got a better minutes per expected goal involvement than Vissa, which shows just how well Vissa's doing. He's blanked in 1 start, and that was Liverpool, who are the best for expected goals conceded, so solid. And Eze to Saka, good move as well. That's I mean, I've got a similar plan the next few weeks. I'm looking how to get Saka back in. I don't know if I'll be able to afford Salah. I can get Saka and keep the front 3, so that gives me really nice depth for November and beyond, because like especially December, really the main takeaway that everyone should have at the back of their head for December is to have good depth. Because that's when we have like 6 or 7 game weeks in 1 month. And there's a lot of rotation. Because there's, some teams will be playing like Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. Like crazy schedules like that. So that's when you really want nailed players or good depth. So 17% play draft, 83% don't. While we're on the subject, I've put one up for FPL Challenge as well. Do more play FPL Challenge or do less play FPL Challenge than draft? Razan, for the 21 months, thanks very much. He says, hey Oscar, is it worth doing Havertz to Cunha this game week? I'd be very tempted. So my opinion on Havertz is, like, first of all, I think Havertz is absolute quality. I really, really rate him. He's been so good for us. But his role's a bit different when we're playing against these tougher teams. Like Newcastle and Chelsea up next. He's more of a physical presence. He can play a little bit deeper. It's against the easier teams, like we saw early in the season, where he can afford to just play further up there and, be on the end of chances. So I think that is an upgrade. So I would just about go for that. I think Havertz is going to be more of a factor again once we get to some of the easier fixtures. Like here onwards, 15 onwards perhaps. In theory, looking at the next 5, Cunha's better, yeah. Johnny says, can we see your draft? Yeah, I can show that quickly. I've never shown my draft team. Let me find it for you. It's not going to be very interesting to those that don't play draft, but it doesn't quite fit in. So my team is Raya, Trent, Aina, Saliba, Saka, Bumo, Johnson. Oh yeah, I brought in Nunez. I just wavered him in, like I was saying earlier. If you're playing draft, you could. Semenyo, Raul Jimenez, Strand Larson. And top of the league at the moment. So that's the group I play with. We've been playing for like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years. That's my draft team. I've lost all my windows now. Where'd I go? Is it that one? No. That and that. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Johnny. That's my draft team. Top of the league at the moment, but I did lose last game week. Brian says, got the stream playing in the background while getting some work done. Okay, hopefully we don't distract you too much. Keep up the work. As always, if you guys tag me in a photo of your stream setup, like your laptop or your TV or wherever you're watching from, on your fridge, take a photo of your stream setup and tag me on Twitter and I'll retweet it. I always like to see where people are tuned in from around the world. Well, Wood start. I think he probably will. If I recall, I think he played down the knock last game week in his post-match interview. I think he just took like a knock on his foot. So it's just like a little contact injury. Where's Teddy? He's actually here today. I think he's still under the duvets. He's asleep somewhere. Might see him later. Oh, interesting. So more play FPL Challenge than Draft. So 31% play FPL Challenge. Or 30% now, 70% don't. Alright, another poll for you guys. And then we'll move on. Who scores the most points this season? Salah, Haaland, Palmer, or other? Who finishes the season on the most points? Is the blue background new? Don't think so. I redid the entire stream layout at the start of this season, but it's always been blue. I've been thinking about making it the kind of reddish colour that my logo is, but I'm not sure if I'll do it or not. I quite like the blue. If you guys have any feedback on the new stream layout, it's welcome. I like it a lot more. It took me bloody ages, I'll tell you what. It took me so long to do this new stream layout, but lots of tinkering in Photoshop, but I think it's much better. Everything's laid out kind of nicely in a grid layout. I forgot the actual name of this kind of layout. There's a really fancy like designer name for it. And I was following like design inspirations online to get to this, but yeah, I think it's better. There's more information, it's more concise, it's more fitted in. Leslie says, nice and clean layout, thank you. I might end up adding more to it, like I didn't used to have the news rotating in, where it says experts captaincy now. Every like 10 seconds the team news comes in, so I might be able to do that somewhere else as well, if I can think of anything else that's useful. Sachi says, today's my birthday. Happy birthday to Sachi. Thanks for swinging by the stream. Devils United, what's your transfer plans? I've sold Solanke for Cunha, so I had one free transfer. That's what I've done, and I'm leaving it at that. I'll hopefully roll in Game Week 11, and then Game Week 12, I might go Johnson to Saka, because Johnson's got Man City. But I'd have to sell one of Vardiel or Gabriel to, probably be Vardiel, to a 4 mil defender. I didn't expect Saka to go up last night, so like before that rise, I could have bought any 4.3 mil defender, so Anderson would have been perfect. Bento grid, that was it, Mark. Thank you. It's a bento grid stream layout. Yeah, so I was looking at Anderson, but now I can't afford Anderson, so it'd have to be a 4.2 mil defender. Or I could sell both Vardiel and Porro, but it'd be a -4, and then I could just get two nice 4.5s to see me long term. Like I'm looking at Colwell. I really like Colwell. I think he's 4.6 mil. I mean, look at the fixture run. So I'd buy him there for Leicester, and it's just a great fixture run all the way till Like Gameweek 25-ish, like February. Jimmy says, I like that layout for the stream, same as the app. Yeah, I kind of used a similar layout for the app as well, for consistency. Welcome all of you that have tuned in so far. If you're enjoying the stream, then hit like on it and make sure you're subscribing. I do these streams every week, answer your questions, make FPL videos, so if you're new around it, hit subscribe. It's completely free, and you can change your mind if you think, nah, this guy's not for me. I missed a few super chats. So Pratik says, Haaland and McNeil for Salah and who? He's got 8.9 mil in the bank. If I was selling Haaland and McNeil for Salah and a forward, I think I'd go Cunha. I'm trying to remember how much Watkins is. Like, Watkins looks great from a couple of weeks from now, but not really now. I would say Cunha, Pratik. If I was picking anyone right now, he just makes the most sense. 3 home games in the next 4. Southampton home next week. He's got Palace as well, by the way, who've got no Eze. Wharton's picked up another injury. And they played full strength midweek in the League Cup against Villa. So I quite like this fixture this week for Cunha as well. So that would be what I'd say, Pratik. Cable says Vardy and Sancho to 8 Nori and Salah. -1. Do you mean -4? Or Sancho to Saka? That's really close. A -4 for Salah or Saka for free and you keep Vardy. I would say Saka just about, because you're also keeping Vardy. We just don't know 100% if Vardy starts. My gut feeling is he does. So if that's true, then I would say Saka. In theory, Vardy on Saka is probably better than 8 Nori and Salah, but that is close. That is close. Oh, sorry, and avoiding a -4. So I'd say the Saka for free. Sancho out. CFJW says Foden, Gabriel, Solanke to 8 Nori, Salah and Strand Larsen -4. Ooh. Oh, I do like that. The only thing I don't like is selling Gabriel. I don't know if I'd do that. I think I'd be more tempted to go Solanke to Cunha than take a -4. It's very close though. I don't hate that, but you're selling Gabriel and you're buying Strand Larsen, but I do like Cunha more than Strand Larsen. Really close, that one. That's not a bad -4 if you really want Salah, but I think I'd rather just Solanke to Cunha and then keep yourself a free transfer. Flandy says, sell McNeil or Rodgers for Palmer? I'd sell McNeil. Arsenal defence is washed. I mean, yeah, recently it has been a bit washed, but like they've had injuries, like the Saliba red card didn't help. I still don't know, maybe I'm deluded as an Arsenal fan, but I still think long term the Arsenal defence will come good. Is that delusion, or do you guys agree with that? 1 in the chat if you think Arsenal defence will come good. 2 in the chat if you think Arsenal defence is not going to come good. Sam thinks it will come good. It's pretty mixed. I think most people agree Arsenal defence will come good. Daniel reckons they'll come good, but Colin Boogler says 2, sorry. Yeah, that's not what I want to hear, Colin, when I've got double Arsenal defence. I mean, this week, Eddie Howe said Isak and Gordon are going to be assessed. So, I mean, imagine if they both miss out. That would be huge for Arsenal defence. But, I mean, this week, like I said in yesterday's video, it's the battle of the 2 frauds, isn't it? In terms of press conferences. So, it wouldn't be surprising if Isak and Gordon start. But like if they miss out, that'd go a long way for Arsenal's clean sheet potential away at Newcastle. I mean, Brighton just did it, didn't they? Brighton kept a clean sheet away at Newcastle, didn't they? 1-0, wasn't it? So clearly it can be done. And Arsenal defence is better than Brighton. What software do you use to stream? I use OBS. The original one. Open source. Not Streamlabs OBS. Just OBS. Do I have crumpets or cereal for my breakfast? From Dan G. I would treat yourself to some crumpets and then put something nice on it like cheese or butter. Maybe even baked beans and cheese. How about that? Game changer. Can you show the clean sheet odds, please? Yeah, certainly. So this week, Liverpool top, 37.5%. Man City are in second. Then it's Arsenal. Forest and Fulham are tied. Brighton rock bottom. Obviously playing away at Anfield. Bournemouth 13.5% against City. Petrus says Foden to Salah for free or Johnson to Palmer for -4. I would do Foden to Salah for free personally. Keep Johnson for 2 more weeks and then get rid of him. Kyle's World says, as an Englishman living in Australia, I miss crumpets so much. You know what? I mean, I'm English and I can't remember the last time I had crumpets. I like scones, I like fish and chips. I had those more recently, but I can't remember the last time I had a crumpet. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching like, what the hell is a crumpet? Tuna crumpets, good shout Dan. Is that a good shout? Tuna on crumpets? I actually don't know if that is a good shout. I've never had that. I'm trying to think of, am I trying to imagine in my head if that tastes nice? For breakfast? Tuna for breakfast? Scott says, hi Oscar, would you start Davis over Gabriel this week? Ooh. I mean, if there's ever a fixture to start Davis, it's got to be this week. I think I would. I think you got to start him this week, right? What's the fixture? Is it home to Leicester? I think it is, right? I mean, you can't start him. If there's ever a fixture, like, what have you got him for if you're not starting him home to Leicester? I'd start Davis, yeah. Only Molly, 35 months. 1 month away from 3 years. And he says, hi, Oscar. I did Saka to Foden last week like a fool. Would you do Foden and Solanke for Saka and Cunha or try and force Salah him? No, I think you got it right there. I would say Saka and Cunha makes more sense. And forcing Salah in, it's pretty close, but I think that combination's better. Because to force Salah in, what do you need? An extra 2.8 mil? I don't see how you do it. Like, you'd have to go down to like a 4.5 mil forward or something, wouldn't you? Or take a -4 somewhere. In theory, Saka and Cunha's better for the next few weeks. Like, who knows this week, but I think if you look at the next like block of fixtures, that should do better. Crispy Bacon says, can we have your thoughts on Foden? You bought him. I mean, to be fair, City have got so many injuries. Like, he's going to be starting every game. Pep hasn't got the choice to screw us over benching him. I mean, watch him find a way to do it now. But like, they've got so many players out that he is going to at least play. He's a strange one, though, because last season he just absolutely ripped it up. But he's just not done much this season. I don't know if he's had like personal stuff going on or what the story is behind the scenes. But we at least can expect him to start. He hasn't got the luxury. So I think you just keep him for the next couple of weeks and then reassess before Tottenham and Liverpool. Do we know if Wood starts? I mean, there's not been a leak on him. My best guess is that he starts. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I actually think all my flagged players have got a good chance this week. Wood as a differential captain of thoughts? Nah, not for me. Don't get me wrong, like he's banging form, but I don't know if I could captain Wood, especially flagged. Anel says Foden scored in the last 5 games against Bournemouth. Is that true? That does not seem right. Is that true? I can't believe that. But, I mean, there you go, Chris. That's another one in favour of Foden. We've got welcome back for another video in the chat. Welcome back for another video. It says start Concert or Vandenberg. Concert or Vandenberg. Let me check. My gut feeling says Vandenberg. What's the clean sheet odds say? Brentford, where are they? 19%. Aston Villa, 14.5. Yeah, I mean, just about Vandenberg. Start Rodgers over Mikalenko. Yeah, I think I would. Just start the attacker. It's quite close that, but start the attacker. Derek says, what's the news on Delap? So I came across an account that's been posting the Ipswich lineup the last few weeks at least, maybe more. Bang on, a day before the game. A day before the game as well. The full 11. Even stuff that they've got no right to be getting right without inside information, like Delap being benched for Hurst last game week. So to me, that was enough for me to think that's reliable, and they had Delap starting. So that's why I've put him in the bottom left corner as starting. Imagine if we had that for City. Imagine if there was an account that just posted the full City team a day before the game. That would be mad. Let me have a quick skim on Twitter, see if there's anything going on in terms of leaks. Not at the moment. I shall keep an eye out. $10-minute chat. It says, just got back in time for your stream, Oscar. How do you like the flags on my team? I'm going either -4 or -8. You don't need the -8. I can understand the -4 just to cover yourself because you've got a couple of flags at the back. But like, I think your existing back three should all play. But if I was going to take a -4, I'd do the Van der Ven out one that you mentioned. Simphis says, got to hear Box and Meet Canvas can leave now. Hey, I'll queue it up for later as well, so you have to stick around for that as well. Where should I chuck it? Down here. There we go, it's queued up for later as well. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and send it to my cousin because he'll love that. Sorry if you heard that Windows sound. Save that. Boom. How's your neighbour going? I can't hear anything today, so I think they've had the day off or they're finished. I don't think they're finished. The scaffolding's still up. Got so annoying yesterday though, trying to record. I'd be like, welcome back. Oh my god, that song just came on at the same time. I was like, welcome back for another video. And then you hear like a drill go off and then I'd have to start again. That was weird timing. The second I said that, the song played. Music's gone. Can you not hear it now? I can see it on OBS. Jacob says, transfer made for Gameweek 10. He's done Haaland to Cunha, Semenyo to Salah, Concert to 8 Nori. No hits taken. Thoughts? Nice moves, Jacob. Nice moves. Yeah, I can't really recommend anyone going against Haaland to Salah, especially when it's like Semenyo up. It does look good. And I'd be really tempted if I had 2 free transfers, but I don't. Music is really low but fun, I think. Bit louder? It looks quite loud on OBS, but maybe it's not in the stream. There we go. Is that better? It's well loud in my ear. Are you sure? That's alright. That sounds alright on the stream, does it? This is pure ASMR. Welcome back for another live stream. Before was fine. Alright. People are messing me around here with the volume. I'll chuck it to there. Hopefully that's the sweet spot. It's loud on the stream now. It's too loud. Okay. I'll go for that. Okay. Bit more down. There we go. FPL ASMR stream. What are we talking about? Yeah, nice move, Jacob. Bertman says, how mad am I to consider Maddison, Semenyo and Haaland out for Salah, Saka and Cunha? I already have Palmer for -4. I mean, to be fair, that is a nice set of moves. Really nice this week. I don't think it's mad. I really don't. I said in my video yesterday, Bertman, if I was wildcarding this week, I would have Salah, Palmer and Saka in midfield. We're getting spoiled today with your iconic phrase. I know. I'm starting to overuse it now. It's going to wear off. I'll have to think of something else to say for my April Fool's video. If I do one. Maybe I'll just go back to the welcome video for another back. Yeah, Bertman, I like that. Even for a -4, I mean, it gets you to what I think's the best 3 premiums to have right now this week. So I think it's good. Like Maddison could do something in the next 2, especially Ipswich, but Semenyo's got City. Cunha's great. I would do it. Adeline says, Conser and Colwell or dunk out from -4, maximum 5.1 mil defender. I definitely wouldn't sell Colwell. Definitely not Colwell. I think he's a great long-term pick. I'm looking to buy him in a couple of weeks. I wouldn't take a -4 to sell either. I would just play them. I don't like -4s for defenders. Like, it'd have to be a really massive upside defender or funding another move for me to do it. I wouldn't just take a -4 in isolation for defender, if that makes sense. 3 free transfers. Solanke to Jimenez, Trent to Ait-Nouri to fund Lewis to Salah. He's got Palmer and Salah in the team as well. Thoughts? Who's Luis? Luis Diaz. I like that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Trent to Ait-Nouri is one that could backfire. But if you're going Luis Diaz... No, it can't be Rico Lewis. It's got to be Luis Diaz because Lewis is a defender. I think I'd do that, you know. I think I would do that just about. Raul Jimenez looks great for like the next 5 game weeks or so. Trent to Ait-Nouri could backfire. But you're getting rid of Diaz, who's, yeah, clearly like a concern for starts. He might start, he might not. Like Gakpo's some serious competition there, so I think I'd do that with free transfers. I like that. Wildcard draft. I did one in yesterday's video, Morrow, if you want to take a look at that. It's actually an insanely good team. I was kind of jealous of anyone that's still got a wildcard. McNeil or Rodgers? If it's who to start, I suppose you start McNeil. Because the only risk is like if he's on the bench. But I think he either starts or doesn't play at all. So you start McNeil and then Rodgers first bench. Dr. Yazan said, is it worth a hit to sell Porro for Trent or Son for Saka? Probably not for a -4. Probably not for a -4. I'd just look to do it next week for free. Personally. Start Stones or Keane? I'd start Stones. Right, who do you guys think is going to be the top scorer this game week? We're looking for the top scorer. Last game week, it wasn't Boomo. 15-pointer. Guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be this week? Per Hansen says, so I shared the clip of you explaining baseline PPS, asking rhetorically, how come 95% of FPL managers are men? It was a hit. I'm glad that went down well. Yeah, that's like next level analysis, I suppose, that one. If anyone missed that, Cunha's top for baseline BPS this season. Baseline BPS takes all the different things that players do to accrue BPS, like shots on target, goals, assists, successful take-ons, chances created. All of those things make up BPS. Baseline BPS is that total BPS minus the BPS for the major contributions, so goals and assists for forwards. And then you're left with a number that shows how close a player is to getting bonus every single game and what they're doing individually outside of those major contributions. And Cunha was top for baseline BPS. So in a nutshell, like, he's creating chances and doing other things outside of major contributions. So, you know, more often than not, all he needs is one return and he's on his way to some decent bonus points. Anyway, back to this. So Salah, Cunha, Wood, Palmer, Smodic, Calvert-Lewin. Imagine if it's Calvert-Lewin. Smith Rowe, Visser, Murillo. Foden, big week. Maybe. Palmer. Chris Wood, Salah. Havertz, Trent, Wood. We'll see. A few of you got Mbumo last week, so well done to the Mbumo guessers. Kano says he's got no free transfers. He's thinking Porro to Trent for -4. Who starts? He's got Ramsdale, Flecken, Lewis, Gabriel, Robinson, Porro, Vandenberg, Rodgers, Smith Rowe, Palmer, and Mbumo, Cunha, Haaland, and Jefferson. So you start, work backwards. You start Haaland and Cunha. You start Mbumo, Palmer. You start Smith Rowe. I'll start Lewis. I'd start Gabriel. I think I'd start Robinson and Rodgers. And then in goal, Flecken. I don't think I'd do Porro to Trent -4. I don't think you need to do it for a -4 this week. I think I'd do that next week for free. Because you need Porro to blank. You need Trent to keep a clean sheet. Or Porro not to get an attack in return and Trent to get one. Just not sure. That's betting 4 points on something that's in isolation not that likely, I'd say. I'd probably just do it next week for free. I mean, I did look at it myself and I came to the same conclusion basically. Because I've got like 1.6 mil in the bank, so like I could sell Vardiel, Gabriel or Porro to Trent for a -4, but I'm not going to. Homesonic says Smith Rowe to Saka or Palmer and Solanke to Cunha for a -4. It's got Rodgers and Mbumo, Haaland and Johnson. I do like Palmer more, that's the thing. But you don't. The problem is, you could do Solanke to Cunha now. Wait out the Chelsea-Arsenal game. And then get Palmer Gameweek 12. But like, I'd rather Palmer over Saka personally. I just think Palmer's probably a season keeper now. Like, the fixtures long term are just insanely good. He's not in the European squad. I think he's almost a must-have. But for a -4, I mean, if you just want to get out of the way, I would do it. I don't think I'd do Saka for free. I think I'd just rather take the -4 than go Saka and block yourself from Palmer, if that makes sense. So I think I'd do the -4. But I don't hate going Solanke to Cunha and waiting 2 weeks. But if it, like, the problem is Palmer's ownership every game week is like almost 100%. Like, FPL is a game of fun as well. And I tell you what, before I had Palmer, it was not fun seeing his effective ownership every week. Do you know what I mean? Because then you look at that and you're like, oh my god, he's 100% effective ownership. I have to pray he blanks. That's not like a fun way to go about your weekend, for me anyway. But to be fair, like, you can't have them all. That's going to be me with Salah this week, I suppose. Azim says, I always thought your voice was AI. Now I see the stream. There you go. Not AI. So yeah, I think I'd do the -4 there, Homesonic. FPL Mikkel, thanks for the 31 months. He says, 31 months. Solanke a must go or keep for 2 more game weeks. I don't think keeping him for 2 more game weeks is a bad play, Mikkel. I don't think it's a bad play. I think it's fine to keep. basically, his underlying numbers are so bad recently that I thought I may as well just bring the move forward, because Cunha's also got 2 home games. Slightly better 2 home games. So I just figured I might as well bring the transfer forward and get him now. And it was a 0.2 mil swing, so that's why I just ended up doing it. I don't think it's the end of the world to keep him. Don't think it's that bad to keep, honestly. 40 says Watkins to Cunha or Porro to Konate with a free transfer. I don't know if I'd be selling Watkins right now. Maybe next week instead. Next week it looks better, doesn't it? Because Watkins has got Liverpool away. I don't think it's a rush to sell Watkins before Spurs. Like, Spurs don't look like a great defence right now, do they? And they're missing Van der Ven as well now, so Dragusin probably comes in. I said right at the start of the stream, last season, when he was out for 9 games with that hamstring injury, they kept 1 clean sheet. So that's why I've actually benched him for Rodgers. So I'd rather the Konate move, yeah. I like the Konate move more. I'd rather do that, yeah. Elliot says, 4 free transfers. Do I drop Haaland for Salah? My team name is Suffolk Punching. I'm not going to be able to find you a team like that. It's best to just put it in the message, Elliot. So, Haaland to Cunha. Maddison to Salah. Rodgers to Palmer. 4.5 mil in the bank. I mean, I would say that's worth it. That seems worth it to me. You're trading Haaland for 2 premiums. Right? So there's no way, famous last words, there's no way Haaland can outscore Salah and Palmer. No, it's alright, Flandy. It gets a bit messy anyway when I have to look up teams. I'd rather do it just in the message. I'm not trying to be like anal or whatever, but it's just it gets too messy if I'm like chopping around in tabs in the background. It's easier if it's in the message. But to be fair, Elliot's done that, so that's all good. Yeah, I would do that, Elliot. I would do that. I know, like, selling Haaland is scary, but you're moving Haaland to Salah and Palmer. That's worth it. And you're bringing in Cunha as well, who's, like, a great pick, in my opinion. I'd go for it. But that's 3 transfers, so are you not making a 4th? Even better if you can do it in 3. Flandy sold Haaland. We'll do a Haaland poll. So the poll was, who scores the most points this season? Haaland 40%, Salah 37%, Palmer 19%, 3% other. So we'll go selling, keeping, and don't own. The poll is up. Get your votes in. So Sammy says Watkins or Erling captain. I would say Haaland. Haaland's got to be the better captain against Bournemouth than Watkins against Spurs, right? I don't think it's really close, that one. I mean, let's have a look at the goal scorer odds. That might help a bit from Rob T FPL. So this week, yeah, Haaland's got the most projected goals, 0.81. And then it's Salah, 0.71. Obviously, this is just projected goals, so what's worth remembering is there's the assist potential, which obviously Salah has a lot more than Haaland. Didn't word that very well, but I think you understood what I meant. And then Wood's 3rd. But where's Watkins? There he is. He's down there. 0.44. So Haaland's got almost twice the projected goals, so that's where I'd be turning. If anyone's not got the FPL Focal app, there it is. Search FPL Focal in the App Store. It's completely free. You can check your live rank, bonus points, top 10k stats, the fixture ticker tool, and loads of stuff like that. Highly recommend. I know it's become a staple app for lots of you, which is nice to hear. So thanks to everyone that uses it. There's been almost 100,000 unique users this season, which is mental. Mihali says, hey Oscar, best 5 million and under midfielder who covers Raul Jimenez for Gameweek 15 and 16. Or do I go Strand Larsen instead of Raul and play him every week? I don't know if there's anyone for under 5. Buonannote's 5.1. Not sure if he covers him anyway, but he doesn't fit. I mean, that's quite a while away. I don't think you should necessarily think I can't get him because of Gameweek 15 and 16. Right? You might just take Jimenez back out. There might be some other move you make. How we doing half time? He says, yo, how we doing? Very well, thank you. Good stream so far. We're just over an hour in. Yeah, don't let that put you off going for Raul. Like, you can always make another move later to take him back out or bring in a midfielder that covers him. Because you're talking about a good 5 game weeks away, so that's a long time. A lot will change in your team by then, right? FPL1 says McNeil to Garnacho or Smith Rowe or hold and do Solanke to Cunha. I think I like Solanke to Cunha more. It depends who comes off your bench if McNeil doesn't play though. So who comes off your bench? Like on paper, that's a better move this week. Unless you've got, you know, someone you really don't want off your bench. Semenyo, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Like City, I think teams are right now are going to look at City and think like we can have a go at them this game. They're missing so many players. It's a slippery slope when they've got lots of injuries because players are having to be played even more. Pep can't do his usual rotation. They're getting less rest. They're getting more tired. You know, the tail end of games are going to be harder and harder for City until they start getting everyone back. So it's a slippery slope. The more they're playing, the more injury prone those players are. So it's going to be interesting to see what Pep does the next couple of weeks. Like, I saw quite a few academy players were in the squad this week. So he's going to have to use them. So I don't think Semenyo coming off the bench is the end of the world. Let's just hope he can make it through this one without a yellow card, because he's actually on 4 yellows, as is 8 Nori. So 1 more yellow, 1 match suspension. Tim says Haaland to Visser, McNeil to Salah, and Van der Ven to Trent/Lewis from -4. Would you go Trent or Lewis? I'd go Trent. Can you afford that? Yeah, Trent. Absolutely Trent. Trent over Lewis all day. If you've got the money. So obviously there's like 2.5 mil separating them, or almost that. Mo Omar says, hi Oscar, he's got 1 free transfer and he's wildcarding in 12. Eze to Johnson or João Pedro to Raul? I'd say Johnson's just about better for the next 2. Like, it's particularly that Ipswich game, but Johnson's got 2 home games, and I'd say on paper better games. I saw João Pedro is actually back in training, but they did say they're going to ease him in. Rocco says, Oscar, I love you. Rodgers or Smith Rowe? I think you have to start Smith Rowe. He's got the slightly better fixture, you'd say, right? Home to Brentford, who, you know, are conceding a lot of goals this season. They're scoring a lot, but they're conceding a lot. I'd say to Smith Rowe. He's got the better fixture, right? Stevie Boy says, DCL or Solanke, Semenyo or Rodgers, sell 2. That's really difficult, that one, because DCL's got Southampton, but then Solanke's got Ipswich in game 11. Depends who you can afford and what you're buying, because like selling Solanke probably frees up more money, depending on who you buy. I'd rather sell Semenyo or Rodgers as well, so I'll say Solanke and Semenyo, but Calvert-Lewin is a sell as well, but you could probably leave it 1 more week, if you see what I'm saying. Leighton and Justine says, Oscar again, ole ole. Thanks for that. Is Martinez a good punt. I mean, he's all right for the next two. I mentioned him in a video yesterday. I'd probably only consider Nunes for if you had a Game Week 12 wildcard still. The other Nunes as well, I think, is actually a good 2-week punt if you've still got your wildcard. But I just don't think I'd buy them otherwise because they're just a transfer back out waiting to happen. They're going to be unexpectedly benched. You know, Game Week 12, 13. They're going to frustrate you. So I'd only go for Darwin Nunes or Matheus Nunes if you've still got your wildcard and you're going to use it Game Week 12. So you get the next two out of them, if that makes sense. Because Jota's out till after the international break. So Darwin Nunes looks good, right? And lastly, Omar Cordy says, start Raya or Sells. I've got both Gabriel and Milenkovic. Gut feeling says Raya. What's the clean sheet odds say? It's very close. Arsenal 34% chance, Nottingham Forest 29. So I would go with Arsenal. Aiden says, Solanke to Darwizzy. Love the contents, by the way. Yeah, we're just talking about Nunes. I wouldn't do it, I don't think, unless you've still got your wild card. Because Jota's out till after the international break. So, like, Darwin looks good for the next two. But it might only be the next two. And then Jota's a massive threat to his minutes. Like, I think he's an awesome punt for the next two. But it's a luxury punt if you still got your wild card. If I still have my wild card, I'd be very tempted. But even then, right, Cunha's probably better. It's close though. No worry, Omar. Thanks for that. Right, scout selection. Let us know in chat. How many players do you have from the scout this week? So, they've got Sells in goal. They've got Trent, Aït-Nouri and Davies at the back. Midfielders Salah, Palmer, Saka and Bumo. So 3 in midfield. And then Watkins, Cunha and Jimenez up top. So I've got Palmer and Bumo. Oh God, I've got 3. Anyone got 3 as well? Worm's got 3. Peter's got 3. Not sure how I feel about that, only having 3 this week. Salah's the one I fear most. Like, if you have Salah, I feel like you have to captain him. It's such an opportunity, getting Salah, when you compare the ownerships and the next 3 fixtures. But just going to have to hope and pray that Haaland comes good and City can grind out results. John's got 3, Mikey's got 4, Dan's got 4. Do you have any plans to sell Haaland in the future? Not at the moment. I mean, maybe later, but right now, no. I'll be honest, I've not thought that far ahead. I've thought as far as Game Week 12. Because that's all I'm thinking about right now, is what I do in Game Week 12. And that's probably going to be buying Saka. So if I do that, I'll have Palmer, Saka and Haaland as my 3 premiums. And I think that's fine as well. But yeah, Haaland versus Salah is going to be a really interesting one in the next few weeks. Saeed says, should I captain Salah? I don't know, I'm scared. I mean, FPL Review's got him top of the Game Week projections. So yeah, I would agree with this. If I had him, I'd captain him. He's got the home fixture. Dunk's possibly out for Brighton again. Haaland's away, they're missing players, lots of players. 6.5 projected points for Haaland, 7.6 for Salah. I know not all of you agree with projected points, but like they are useful. And they're kind of like an extension. So lots of you look at clean probabilities, right? Like clean sheet odds, goal scorer odds. It's kind of just an extension of that. Those, like clean sheet odds, say how likely are to keep a clean sheet. Goal scorer odds, how likely to score. Projected points are kind of just an extension of that. How likely are they to score or assist? So I find them super useful, and like nearly all top all-time managers use them. So I do think they have a place. They are helpful. But I know some of you don't like the projected points, and that's fair. But I use them for the players to buy video series because I just think it's better to take a data-based approach to buying and selling players, because then it's less prone to my opinions. Stephen Milner says, hi Oscar, great content and the app is spot on and a huge aid for FPL players. Garnacho versus Rodgers. I mean, looking at the fixtures, Garnacho wins easily. This week, it's difficult. But Garnacho has the better fixtures, right? I think they've got like Leicester, Ipswich, Everton after Gameweek 10. Might be in the wrong order. They play 2 promoted teams in Everton. I remember it's that. Garnacho wins on fixtures. How does Amorim line up? That's what I'm interested to know. He's used back 3 of wing backs at Sporting a lot. Like Rodgers. This week I'd start Rodgers if it's who to start. Who to buy. Garnacho's got more upside. More upside, better fixtures. I think I'd be comfortable enough saying that. So I'd say Garnacho, who to buy. Rodgers, who to start this week, if that makes sense. FPL Mikhail says, Solanke to Jackson to prepare for the fixture swing. Keep him, or get another forward like Wood or Rao. I've got Cunha ready in Haaland. I think you're okay to actually give Solanke the next 2, Mikhail. Jay mentions Visser as well, who I really like. But I understand what you're saying. You might want to keep the option open to go Jackson, who I do think is a very good pick from Gameweek 12. Start him with Leicester. I think you can afford to just keep Solanke for 2 weeks if you're undecided on whether you want Jackson. But I don't think I'd buy Jackson now, because Solanke's got better fixtures the next 2, even though he has been poor recently, if that makes sense. And the problem with Wood is he's got 3 in the next 4 that he'd like, and then he's probably a sell. So, yeah, if you're strongly considering Jackson, I'd just leave it 2 weeks, get the next 2 out of Solanke, then move to Jackson, if that makes sense. Like, Villa home, Ipswich home versus Man United away, Arsenal home. It's just so much better for Solanke, isn't it? Right, who do you guys think is the most transferred in player this week? Just trying to think who it could be. Maybe Mbumo after the 15-pointer. Is there anyone else? Andrew reckons says Mbumo. Cunha? Oh, Salah. Werner. I see your Spurs crest profile pic. Mbumo, Wood, Cunha, Palmer. Cunha. Let's see who it is. Oh, wow. Mbumo's top, 622,000. Then it's 8 Nori. Then it's Wood. Then it's Saka. Then it's Salah. Cunha, Visser. So that's actually not as much as I thought. 308,000 have bought Salah. Visser's up there, Vardy or Palmer. I'm not sure about Keane. I said this last week though, didn't I? Or the week before. Braithwaite's got to be back in the team soon. It has to be. He's like undeniably a better centre-back than Keane. I'm surprised he's up to 4.3 mil now. I mean, that's a problem waiting to happen, I think. Sorry to anyone that might have bought him this week if you're watching. Virgil, Smith Rowe, Rao. So who's the most sold then? Who's the most sold this week? So it's Mbumo top. Who are they selling? I'm trying to think who it could be. No one's selling like Saka, are they? Is it Haaland? Solanke. Oh, it's Gabriel. 436,000 have sold Gabriel. Then it's Watkins. Van der Ven, I get that. Luis Diaz, okay. Solanke's 5th. Only the 5th most sold. Eze, Jota, Son. 194,000 have sold Haaland. It's not as bad as you think, is it? Because we feel like all the talk is like Haaland to Salah, but only 194,000 out of over 10 million have sold him. McNeil, fair enough. Havertz, Porro, Rodgers, Johnson, Gordon, Vardy. So Vardy was in the most bought and the most sold. Okay. Fairs. If anyone's joining late and not sure about Gabriel or Vardy, this was the quick update. So Arsenal posted a video at training yesterday. It wasn't actual training footage, but the players were like standing in a circle to pay their respects to what's going on in Valencia, and Gabriel was spotted there. So it looks like he's probably in training, certainly with the squad. But then Con Harrison posted yesterday that Gabriel has travelled with the Arsenal squad ahead of their game versus Newcastle tomorrow. And then Pep didn't say anything about Vardiol. He just said, you'll see tomorrow. But FPL Heisenberg found a Croatian news outlet was reporting that he should be fine. He said he's fine. He felt a little abductor. But today he's going for a massage and will probably play on Saturday. A source close to Guardiola told us. So it says probably plays. So like nothing's guaranteed there. But I looked up the news outlet and they are big in Croatia. I think they're like the biggest or second biggest or something it said. So there is hope. There is hope. And if you're hoping for a green arrow, hit like to lock in the green arrow and make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's a bit shameless, isn't it, to say that? Subscribe for a green arrow. Don't know how I feel about what I just said. Solanke to Cunha, says Alan. I just made that move as well. I did Solanke to Cunha. I was going to do it a bit later, but I thought I'd bring it forward. They both got 2 home games. Compared side by side, Wolves have probably got slightly better next 2. SN is legit for sports news. That's good news. Thanks, Matty. Bench 1, Solanke or Rodgers? I think he starts Solanke over Rodgers. It's got to be. Elias says, hi Oscar, love the stream. Which 2 should I start out of Mikalenko, Delap or Rodgers? Start Delap. I think I'd start Rodgers as well. Bench Miko. Jago says Vissa's better than Cunha. Do you guys agree with that? Vissa versus Cunha? Maybe we'll do a budget forward poll. Let's put it to bed. So are you selling Haaland? 74% are keeping him, 20% selling, 6% don't own. Best budget forward right now. So we'll go Vissa, Cunha. I can't even fit them all in there. There's only 4 options I could do. Rao and Wood. Am I forgetting one? Who am I forgetting? Vissa, Cunha, Rao, Wood. I might be forgetting someone there. Oh, Welbeck. Poll is up. Gabriel was injured. He was last game. He came off early. Very split results. What's it saying so far? 30. Oh yeah, I'll leave it going a bit. It's a bit too soon. I've only just posted it. I reported your poll for misinformation. What's the misinformation on the poll? Am I missing one of the players that you've got? Who have I forgotten? Oh yeah, I forgot Calvert-Lewin. Should we vice captain in Bumo? Depends who you've got, Mindhunter. I mean, I've got Haaland and Palmer. If I had Saka, I think he'd be better. Salah would be my captain. John Allen says, I wish I had another wildcard. Imagine if FPL added DLC. You could buy another wildcard for £4.99. Imagine the outrage if they added downloaded. DLC is not the right word, is it? An add-on. FPL Harry's gifted 5 memberships. What are you doing here, Harry? Aren't you live? What's going on? Has Harry been hacked? Yo, thanks for the 5 gifted, Harry. Do I have to go give you 5 back now? Sam Onespine got 1. Mate, Teddyman, Victor. Hang on, are you trying to scoop up my viewers, Harry? I see what you're doing. You come over to my stream, you flash your money, and you're trying to steal my viewers. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Congrats to the 5 that just got the memberships from Harry. Appreciate that, Harry. Microtransactions, that's it. Imagine if they did that. Imagine if they did that. They would never do it. You forgot Strand Larson. Oh yeah, I forgot Strand Larson. Let me message Harry and ask what's going on. Asked him what's going on. Something's going on. Something is afoot. Hamza, thanks for the super chat as well. Or the super sticker. Is that a little rose? Thank you very much for that. Maybe Harry lost a bet. What was the bet? They probably said you need to gift 5 memberships to your favourite between Raptor and Focal. Must have been it. Must have been that. So obviously he came here. I'm good mates with Raptor and Harry. We talk every day. We're in a little group chat. Harry's actually getting married next summer. Obviously when the season's over, calculated. Me and Ross will be going to be going to that. Don't know if I should spoil, but me, Ross and Harry are going to do a little premium podcast on, Ross's FPL therapy. We're going to do one together in like a week or two. So make sure you subscribe to Ross's channel as well. That's going to be good fun. I'm going to be bringing the beers for the cartel. We're not the cartel. Hey, I held Saka. When the cartel... Hey, don't look at me. I kept Saka when I could have sold him. I could have gone to Palmer or something like that. I actually was on triple Spurs, so I couldn't have gone to Son. But if I knew Saka weren't playing, he would have been out of my team. I'm not the cartel. Why is everyone calling me FPL cartel? Start Howard Bellis or Ings? Howard Bellis. FPL cartel. I've been found out now. The FPL Mafia. FPL Focal cartel. FPL Juice said Focal's too clean to be cartel. Exactly that. I just don't think there's even a cartel, but like... I'm too sensible to take the risk in like keeping information to myself. What's the point? Imagine you all found out like I'm just keeping stuff to myself for an edge. You immediately just lose like trust and confidence in me, don't you? What's the point? So I can get some extra points. It's FPL. As clean as his socks. My socks are not clean, so I don't know about that one. FPL blinders. It's the peaky fucking blinders. FPL is the Michael of the cartel. What's the Michael? Michael Scott? Don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Sanchez says, good luck with the week, Oscar. What are your thoughts on selling Haaland for Salah and bringing in Cunha Vissa? Yeah, it's the big talking point this week. Like, where's the dog? He's around. He's behind me somewhere. If I had 2 free transfers, I'd be really tempted this week. I'd be really tempted. It also partly depends on your midfield and who you're selling for Salah. Because like, if you have to play Semenyo or something like that, it's even more upside, isn't it? Because you don't want to play Semenyo against City if you can help it. Yeah, I can't recommend for or against it. It's one of those that feels like such a coin toss. For a long time, I thought your name was FPL Local. You're not the first to say that. I've never heard Focal swear. It's really just a live stream thing. I don't think I've ever done it on a video. I think I've done it on the experts videos before. Because like, they get to send in their thoughts for the game week. And sometimes they do swear. They're a mouthy bunch, those FPL experts, I'll tell you what. So sometimes, but very rare, yeah, in videos. Because I don't know, like there might be a risk of getting demonetized, so I'm careful with that on videos. Because like, imagine I put 4 hours into a video, and then it's just instantly demonetized. Like, what's the point? So I think it's all right to swear in videos. Looking handsome today, Oscar. Thanks very much. Appreciate that, Ben. So yeah, I like it, Sanchez. I do. It's like a massive upside move, but obviously, like the other side of the coin is selling Haaland at his ownership. Hypothetically, if Salah was to like blank or flop the next few weeks and Haaland hauls, like that's super damaging to rank, but it makes perfect sense to me. And I prefer Cunha. Sammy says, my team's Fleck and Gabriel, Trent Lewis, Palmer Johnson, Bumo Rogers, Semenyo, Watkins, Haaland and Welbeck. 2 free transfers. He's not sure what to do. I don't think you need to make a move this week. I think you can afford to roll. Looks good this week, to be honest. You just benched Semenyo, right? 3-4-3. Roll the transfer, Sammy. Nothing wrong with having 3. You're in an even stronger position next week. Rick Star says, Captain Punt and Bumo or Trent. You decide, Focal. Oh. That's a lot of pressure. Because I actually really like Trent, but I hate captain and defenders. He's away at Fulham, though. Why are you making me do this to your FPL team? Morning, Bobby. Doing well, thank you. How are you? Well, I'm not well. Rick Stars says I get to choose who he captains. And Bumo or Trent. Hang on. Let's do a poll to help with that one. My gut feeling is Bumo. So, who's the best budget forward? 36% Visser, 24% Wood, 24% Visser, 16% Rao. Let's help Rick Star out. My gut feeling then was Mbumo. Because I hate captain defenders. Because all it takes is a wipe clean sheet, right? And then you're in trouble. Unless they can get a goal or something like that. Prassi, can we do a Kamala Trump poll? See who FPL picks? Yeah, we can do one. We can do one. I think most people don't have much of an opinion because there's not that many Americans tuned in right now, I suppose. I mean, if anyone's American and tuned in, who are you voting? Swear jar. You vote for Oscar. Oscar for president. Yam says don't make it political. Maybe we shouldn't do it. I do try to stay out of politics, I'll be honest. I've got a strong opinion on Kamala versus Trump, but I don't know. I think we should. I don't know if we should do politics. No, we shouldn't, because people are like saying both sides in chat. Prasik, I'm gonna have to swerve that one. Sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to swerve it. So yeah, Rickstar and Bumo. If you have to go for who we're saying, I said in Bumo as well. Chat says Bumo, 75%. Oh, good swerve. I think that was a sensible swerve. Paredes says, aren't you concerned with only one defensive bench cover? Not too concerned, to be honest. I think at least one. I think there's a good chance of both Vardy and Gabriel playing. Haaland, Foden, Lewis and Vardy should all start. There we go. So yeah, I think I'm fine. Start Gabriel or 8 Nori. Ooh. I suppose you go 8 Nori. Home fixture. More of a goal threat. Favourite fruit pole, Kiwi. Johan Daniels, Saka, Vardy, to Mikalenko and Salah, -4. Nah, not for a -4. I don't think I'd do that for a hit, Johan. Appreciate the super chat, but not for a hit. Really enjoyed this stream so far. I don't know why. I must have slept really well last night. I've got loads of energy today. I think I could keep talking all the way to the 3 o'clock stream. 3 o'clock game. That was a slip of the mouth there. Didn't mean stream. Start Archer or Gabriel. Gabriel. Any Wood news? Not had much. Like last game, he said he should be fine for next game week. So my feeling is he plays. It's because I'm here. It's because John's here. If you guys have enjoyed this stream, do drop it a like. Make sure you subscribe. How many have we got tuned in? My new stream setup, that's the only thing. I can't see how many are watching. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's good to not look at the numbers. How many are watching right now? There's at least 100. McNeil News. I've put it in the news widget on the left-hand side. Basically, 2,800. Holy. Fair play. I put it in the left-hand side that McNeil has a chance. That's all that Dyche said. And then El Bobble, who's really reliable for Everton, said... El Bobble. Which day did he say that? Oh, he's not trained. Okay, so this is the latest that I can find. Everton manager Sean Dyche confirms Dwight McNeil has not trained and he's working with the club's medical team ahead of this weekend's game at Southampton. So I think he's really unlikely, if I'm honest. The live has 700 likes, so we're 300 off. If my math's correct, 300 off 1k. Quick maths. Teddy or Visser? Teddy. McNeil out for a -4. It depends who you've got to play instead if he misses out. I wouldn't take a -4 probably, unless you've got like no bench, if you see what I'm saying. Take a shot at Nunez, still have the wildcard left. Yeah, you know what, Oscar? Hey, another Oscar. We were saying earlier, I think he's actually a decent punt for the next two. But I think Cunha's like equally good, if I'm honest. But Darwin's like a mad differential for the next two. 2 home games. Jota's injured till after the international break. I don't think it's crazy if you still got your wild card. That's the massive caveat. Like if you don't have your wild card, I don't think I would consider that ever, because it's just a transfer back out. Teddy triple captain. Yeah, probably do better than Haaland last week. Where do we get to? Mr. Mull says Vardy on Strand Larsen to Lewis and Cunha. Wildcard active. Oh, wildcard active, Lewis. Yeah, I'd rather Cunha. I mean, Vardill's better than Lewis. It's quite close, that one, I'll be honest. But I think I'd rather have Cunha over Strand Larsen. Yeah, I like this. I like the second combo more. Just about. It's pretty close. But yeah, I'd say Lewis and Cunha. If you want some inspiration, I posted a video yesterday, like final thoughts, and someone asked for a wildcard team. And I made a wildcard team for that question. Mr. F, thanks for the super chat. He says, sell Robertson to 8 Nori. I have Duncan Greaves on the bench. Risky. Would you start the lap over Solanke? I think I would. I just think Villa's not going to be an easy game. Spurs were almost full strength midweek. Villa massively rotated. Solanke looked exhausted after the game. I think I would. And I came across a reliable leak that said the lap start, so expecting him to be back in the team. Have you made any subs today? I sold Solanke to Cunha. Does he sell Robertson to 8 Nori? Got Duncan Greaves on the bench. Yeah, the problem is like Robertson's. It's a shame. I love Robertson. He's like one of my favourite players, and he's put in so many good years in FPL and Liverpool. He's an absolute legend, but I don't know. The last year he's just not looked near his best for me. And we saw him come. He got taken off early against Saka. I know Saka's like world class, and that's not an easy matchup for anyone. But he got hooked. Did he not play 90 in the League Cup as well? So I actually think there is a chance Tsimikas comes in. So I think I would sell, yeah. Long answer to your question, but yeah, I think I would sell, yeah. Salah or Haaland captain? I would go Salah if I had him. Let's check if there's any other leaks. Doesn't look like it. D. Herbert says, I won't be shocked if Richarlison starts over Solanke. I wouldn't be shocked either. That was the other reason I just thought I may as well bring the transfer forward. Probably doesn't happen, but it wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me at all. Sebastian says, hi Oscar, can you send my best to Alberpool and Bonvalet? Also, what do you know of McNeil and the replacement? Well, sending all the best to Alberpool and Bonvalet first of all. And in terms of McNeil and replacements, So we just actually had a tweet from our bubble about McNeil. I'll pull it back up for you. This is what he said. Everton manager Sean Dyche confirms McNeil's not trained and he's working with the club's medical team ahead of this weekend's game at Southampton. So, it's hard to say, but I do think he's a massive doubt. Maybe 50-50, but if he's not even trained, I wouldn't be surprised if he misses out. But then replacements, how much have you got, Sebastian? I like Rodgers still. Obviously, don't want to really play. I don't want to play him away at Liverpool. Boogie transitions, love it. I know I've got loads here. I need to try and find excuses to use these more. I've got loads. What's this one? Leicester. So it's nice when I get asked a question like that and I can make use of them. Lost my train of thought now. Yeah, maybe Rodgers. Did you say how much you had in the bank? I'm trying to find your message. Don't know if you did. Depends how much you got. Like Garnacho's nice, 6.2 mil. Show me my Spurs. Any team requests, any transitions you want to see? There's Spurs. Not so much going on with that one. Is Vardy going to start? I'm expecting him to start. Yeah. Oscar says, remember to like the stream, guys. Thank you very much, Oscar. Wolves. I think the Wolves one sucks. Yeah, it's just that. I couldn't think of something good to do with the Wolves one, so it just rotates. Is that even the right crest now? Did Wolves change their crest? I can't remember. Arsenal. There's Arsenal. Leeds. It just rotates that one. I can't lie, I got lazy with some of these. Liverpool. You want City? I actually don't have a Watford one. I thought I did, but apparently not. Man United. Alright, last one. There we go. Welcome back for another live stream. So, Kip Cohen, thanks for the super chat as well. Nothing with that one. No message, just a super chat. Thank you, Kip. Right. What now? So yeah, going back to the Salah thing. Look at this. Double-digit returns this season. 6 double-digit returns for Salah. 6. Next closest is Haaland, Luis Diaz and Palmer, who've got 3. So, again, this goes back to why a lot of people are making the switch this week. It's massive upside. Lower ownership with Salah. 3K viewers, come on. Hey, people like the effects, the transitions. We'll take that. Visser, Mbumo, Madison's son, Justin's got 2. Saka, Madueke, and Jackson have got 2 as well. But it is, once again, the most Salah season so far. The most points, the most double-digit returns. He's the FPL GOAT, isn't he? So, what more can you say? I can understand why people are doing it. Do you have a graph for captaincy? What's on the graph? Plotting what? Are you on TikTok? I am, yeah. Search same handle everywhere. I'm on Threads, TikTok, Instagram. You can find me on YouTube as well if you search FPL Focal. I don't actually stream on TikTok, but I've been thinking about doing it. John H. Oscar's resubscribed after a self-imposed exile. Good to have you back, John. No bad blood. No bad blood. I'll hopefully see you at a future FPL meetup. What time is the deadline? I can't see. We've got 23 minutes. Top right corner, there's a widget there to the deadline. 23 minutes. What was your rank last year? 49k. I scraped top 50k in the last game week. Focal, you're doing the Mbumo hairstyle. Mbumo's bald, what do you mean? Like, maybe I'm starting to lose it, but I'm not there yet. Jackson or Cunha? Cunha. Captain Saka or Haaland? I would say Haaland. 300,075 viewers. Epic numbers. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thoughts on Somerville? Wasn't he benched last game week? I mean, he might start this week, but I'm not considering him. West Ham have got a couple of nice fixtures, but I'd just go Bowen. Chris Asso says bench one out of Smith Rowe, Rogers and Delap. Smith Rowe, Rogers, Delap. I think I'd bench Rogers out of those three. He's got the toughest fixture as well, in fairness. Play Ruben Diaz or Leif Davis. I think I'd start Leaf just about. Like, if you're not going to play him home to Leicester, when are you going to play him? Please work says Somerville, awful FPL asset. That's a cutthroat opinion on Somerville. Yeah, I mean, not for me. Last season he was phenomenal, but he's not been getting the minutes to really string together some consistency. So, yeah, he's not in my thinking at all. I don't mind buying Bowen this week if you're looking for someone in midfield. But, I mean, next week, Man United's fixtures. Like, is anyone in chat considering Man United? Leicester home, Ipswich away, Everton home. I mean, that is three absurdly good fixtures, plus new manager bounce. Anyone? Bruno, Garnacho, Dallo, Højlund? Probably not Højlund. There's got to be better budget forwards right now. To answer Harry's question as well about Højlund. Shout out to FPL Ginger as well. Great name. Jay says no chance on Man United. There's an international break in there. There is. The fixtures are still there though. As long as they come back from them, not injured. Oh, there we go. Boxer McCanvas is back on. What a tune. Roundup, please. I've added a news widget, Gamst, on the left-hand side. Just wait for it to rotate in where it says Experts Captaincy. And I've just put the headlines there now, basically. Aina or Lewis, who to start? I'd go Lewis. Sorry, Drav. Hi, Oscar. He says, I've got a bench and captaincy headache. Thoughts on the bench? Thoughts on bench one and captain one? Between Mbeumo, Bowen, Bruno, Palmer, Foden, Havertz, Visser and Watkins. So bench one and captain one. I'd captain Palmer. Is that right? You haven't got Haaland, Saka or Salah. So you spread the money around, basically. Yeah, I'd captain Palmer. Bench one. I think it has to be Bruno. Yeah, Bruno against Chelsea, I would say. So bench Bruno, captain Palmer. FPL Apprentice, thanks for the 11 months. One off a year now. Favourite 3 items on a Tesco meal deal. It really depends what mood I'm in. I like a cheese and ham salad. I like the chicken salad one. Cheese and ham's good though. Not as healthy. Check FPL Fran retweets. 1 second, I'll come back to that. So we've done the sandwich. I'll come back to the crisps and the drink. Home with the latest news regarding Arsenal. So they've said they've got 8,000 followers. Are they reliable? I mean, they've tweeted the Brazil emoji. I wouldn't be surprised if Gabriel starts, but is this a reliable account? Not sure. What were we talking about? So, cheese and onion crisps, Pepsi Max drink. I'll lock that in. Final answer on the 3 items. And then a chicken sandwich. It's not a reliable source. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to... I have to be really careful with what I pull up on stream. Because if I just give you an unreliable information and then you act on that, then I've screwed you over when you would have been better off just not even seeing it. So I try to only put reliable stuff in the bottom left corner, starts or benched. Christopher, thanks for the super chat as well. Appreciate that. And Bradley Hanna says, start Mikalenko or Rodgers. I think I'd favour the attacker. Like, Rodgers got a full rest midweek in the Cup. Spurs have got no Van der Ven. Loving the stream, Oscar. Thanks very much, Son Goku. Appreciate you all being here. Really enjoyed this stream. Triple captain cheese ham sandwich. Surely not. You never benching Bumo. No, I never benching Bumo. So, Delap, there's an account I came across that's been posting the Ipswich team in full the day before the game for like pretty much all the season. Even stuff that, you know, you couldn't possibly guess. You know, like Hurst starting over Delap last week. So for me, that I just looked at that and thought, okay, this is definitely a reliable account. I've actually forgotten his name. He's actually got barely any followers, but I feel like it might be an account that gains some traction soon. Like, no one can possibly guess stuff like Delap bench for Hurst last week. What was his name? It was something Joe. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. I found it on Reddit. Clean sheet odds. I'll pull those up for a quick sec. Amit says, play Rico Lewis or Mikalenko. I'd play Rico Lewis. Better clean sheet odds as well, as they show here. John Allen, thanks for the 11 months. I'm punting on Casemiro. Casemiro? I know he scored a worldie. Halmar says Casemiro captain. What is going on? What is going on? Did we just slip into an alternative universe? Casemiro captain? And you're punting on Casemiro, John, as well? What is going on? I mean, I remember there was that spell when he first joined. Like, he was actually chipping in with returns. Angus says the Casemiro hype train is legit. I'm not hearing anyone out on Casemiro. Casemiro triple captain. He's got 3 goals in the last 2. I'm not having it. Like, don't get me wrong. He might do something well when the fixtures are nice from next week. But there's no way. There's no way. How much is he? Triple captain Anthony. The football has returned to him. Casemiro of 10 hard gone. I'm in. Imagine if he just hits the ground running now. He's 4.8 mil. Oh, good luck, John. Can you check McNeil leaks? So Son's been spotted in training. If anyone's got Son still. Good morning. There he is. There's Porro. What? Is there anything else? Haaland, Foden, Lewis and Vardy should all start. There we go. From, oh, it doesn't even fit. Why did I put that in? That's from FPL Tony's Patreon. So go subscribe to that if you want City leaks. He said they all should start. Adam says, Gabriel to 8 Nori, Foden to Salah for a -4. I think I'd roll. It's really close, that one. Like, Foden apparently starts. Gabriel to 8 Nori. It's pretty sideways this week. For -4, I think I'd roll Adam and then maybe consider it next week. 3.4k viewers. Shout out to all 3,400 of you, whether you're watching or you've got it on in the background. Appreciate you swinging by. Mac47's become a member as well. Thanks very much for that, Mac. Appreciate your support as well. So Hell says, start Palmer instead of Nori, Miko, or Raul. Hang on. Start Palmer. You never, ever, ever bench Palmer. Ever. I don't care if he's got the hardest fixture of the season. I don't care if he's playing Arsenal's Invincibles. You just play him every week. I would bench Mikalenko. So yeah, I would definitely start. I'd definitely start Palmer. Mr. F says start Archer over Rodgers. I think he's got a goal. Who have Southampton got? I've forgotten their fixture. The fixture's not bad this week, is it? I forget who they've got though. Who have Saints got? Remind me, chat. Adam says Raul Jimenez for Solanke, Saka to Palmer, and Konsa to Lewis for a -4. From -4, I don't hate that. I don't hate that as far as -4s. But you could do it in Gameweek 12 instead. But Konsa does have Spurs, so I think that's okay. I do like that. In theory, you should get the hit back, but it's quite close, that one. Why aren't you replacing Greaves? He's not a priority for me. And I've already used my transfer. I went Solanke to Cunha this game week. I already made that move. Alex says Salah or Haaland captain this week. I've got both. If I had Salah, he'd be my captain. FPL Review at least favours Salah as well. He's top for their projected points this week. And I would do it as well. Like, he's got the home fixture. He's playing Brighton. I mean, does Herzler play differently this way? Because, I mean, Chelsea ripped apart the high line. And that was with no Van Heck. It could be no Dunk this time. I would captain Salah if I had him. And I'm jealous of anyone that's got both. Anyone in chat got both? Haaland and Salah. 1 in chat if you've got Haaland and Salah. 2 in chat if you don't have both. I've only got Haaland. I just couldn't get to Salah without a -4. And I'd have to sell Haaland in my case. Roger's got both. Eigel doesn't. Razan doesn't either. Quite a lot of you've got both. FPL Main Road. Carl Walker travels. Walker travels. Wow. So Walker's back. But apparently FPL Tony said Lewis starts on his Patreon and Haaland, Foden and Vardiol. Adam says I've done it now anyway. Fair play. Hey, it's not a bad move. I honestly, I didn't hate that. What is your profile pic? Is that Ten Hag in a beard and a turban? What am I looking at? Can't see it. Where did I get to? Craig says, triple captain Wood last week. He's on fire. I'm going to captain him. Fair play. Triple captain Wood. Hey, you comfortably outscored those of us that triple captain Haaland, myself included. Oh yeah, let me quickly screenshot my team and post it. Game week 10. Solanke to Cunha. What's that emoji I saw someone use earlier? That one. What does that mean, that emoji? I feel like I'm just doing it because someone else did it. What does it mean? No one does that in real life. No one goes, oh, good luck. Oh, I've done it now. Solanke to Cunha. Haaland captain. Yeah, what does that emoji mean? I see it all the time, but I actually don't understand it. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one... It's praise. Is it like a praying thing? Oh, praise the Lord. Oh, I see. Big ups. Raise the roof. Oh, okay. That kind of works. Raise the roof. Raise the roof. Raise the roof this game week. Big up. Right. Where did I get to? Did I miss anything? No. Did that. Sky says, would you start Johnson or Buonanotte? quite close to that, but I'd start Johnson. I'd give Johnson the nod. Ojiako, thanks for becoming a member. He says, bench Havertz or Rodgers? I'd bench Rodgers there and start Havertz. Sorry, Pat. I'll go back up and get that. Yeah, I'd bench Rodgers and start Havertz. What did Pat say? Sorry, Pat. He says, I've got Lewis Norrie and Gabriel Van der Ven Greaves. One free transfer. I either trust Gabriel to play or do I sell Van der Ven for cover for Mikalenko, Keane, Aina, Simicast? Thoughts, Oscar? Yeah, I know it's difficult, but I think I'd trust Gabriel to play. I think I would trust he plays. If anyone missed it, first of all, he was spotted in a video Arsenal posted yesterday. There. So we know he's in training in some capacity. They weren't actually training in it. They were like standing in a circle. And then there was a tweet from Con Harrison. He says, Gabriel has travelled with the Arsenal squad ahead of the game against Newcastle. I would trust that he plays. And there was also a report that he could have played midweek against Preston in the League Cup, but he was left out as like a precaution. So my gut feeling is that he starts. So I would actually save the transfer, Pat. Mac47, thanks again for becoming a member. And Nev Labady says, hi Oscar, big congrats on your anniversary. Easily the best FPL content out there. Oh yeah, if anyone doesn't know, just hit the 4-year mark since I started this channel. Absolutely mental what's happened in the last 4 years when you think about it. And he says, keep doing what you do so amazingly well, mate. Much appreciated. Thanks so much for that, Nev. That means a lot, genuinely. Thank you for the nice feedback and the super chat as well. Yeah, I mean, I love what I do. I'm passionate about FPL, and I work hard on my content to make the best videos I can for you guys. So I appreciate the kind words like that. I do read every comment still as well. I can't reply to every comment, and it's obviously the same in chat on these live streams. So I'm sorry to like questions in streams that I can't get to. But yeah, just know that I read every comment, especially on videos. Admittedly, not on live streams because there's too much to see. Becky says, too soon to consider Man United assets or wait till Gameweek 12. Yeah, I think you can wait a week. I think you can afford to wait a week and then look in Gameweek 12, 13. Yeah, we were talking about Man United earlier. 3 really nice games from Gameweek 11. You'll have to wait till Gameweek 12. It's Gameweek 11, 12, 13. It's this week, Chelsea. After that, the fixtures are really nice for Man United. And as mad as it sounds, like Man United assets really could be worth a look next week. Do you think there's a new manager bounce for Man United? I think there will be. Ten Hag's time was like clearly up. Arguably, should have gone end of last season and left on a high after winning the cup. We're going to put a final poll up. Who is your captain? Yeah, thanks again for that, Nev. Means a lot. I'll remember that message later as well. Rocket says, start Rodgers or Maddison. I would go Maddison with the home fixture. It's quite close, but I'd favour Maddison there. He's on some set pieces as well. Adam says, my team is Pickford in goal, Mikalenko, Lewis, Trent as centre-back, Palmer, Bruno, Johnson, Rodgers as midfielders, and Wood, Haaland as striker. Good team. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you're on doubles Everton, you know, but it's not worth spending a transfer, I would say. Not right now. Nice team. I mean, we're lined up similarly, so I'm a bit biased, but I like your team, yeah. Let me take a very quick check for any leaks. So, yeah, Walker's in the squad. That's all we've heard. And Delap start him, according to a reliable Ipswich source. Haaland, Foden, Lewis, Vardy, or FPL Tony said on his Patreon. So go subscribe to that. Lewis Maddox in the chat. FPL Focal's my hero. You're my hero, Lewis. Martin says, sell Gabriel or Murillo. Can't decide. I wouldn't sell Gabriel. I think Gabriel's a long-term hold. I think he's a long-term hold. Bobby, FPL and Arsenal in the know confirms. Is he reliable? I don't know, Bobby. Or do I? Who's Bobby FPL? 3 minutes. Lock in your team. Make your transfers. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Reece de Garis, Oscar. How we doing, Reece? Mikalenko or Rogers? I'd favour the attacker, Flandy, and go Rogers. Any last minute leaks? Don't think so. I think that's it. Eight Nori or Gabriel start. That's close. 8 Nori, just about. Very close, that one. Start Gabriel Murillo. Can't decide. I'd start Gabriel. Don't troll in chat, otherwise you'll get muted by a mod in terms of players benched and that. Especially 2 minutes before the deadline. Oh yeah, Captain Poll. 60% Haaland, 31% Salah, 6% Palmer, 3% other. There we go. Porro or O'Neill? Who's O'Neill? Foden to Palmer. I mean, if you can do that in one move for free, I'd consider it, yeah. DCDM? Ask Gabriel starts Team News and Ticks. I don't know if Team News and Ticks said that, though. 14,000 followers. But Team News and Ticks has got his own Patreon, so I haven't got access to verify that. But that's what they've tweeted. I mean, seems promising. If anyone's got Gabriel. So Wood is your captain, Epic Football. So Haaland's still the most popular this week, but then it is Salah. Then it's just 5% Palmer. Greg says I'll be pissed if Gabriel doesn't start. I mean, yeah, I'll have Porro off my bench, which I don't have high confidence about. Right, 2 seconds. Let me take it off slow mode. Do you guys want to do predictions, or do we go raid someone straight off the bat? What would you rather do? Raid someone or do the predictions and then raid someone? Locked in. That's the deadline. If it's still asking, you've missed the deadline. Yeah, it's a good point. We're now at 11 o'clock. Let's poll it. Predictions or raid? Raid is when we all go to someone's channel who's still live and go show them some love. So we can either do predictions or we go raid another channel. In which case, who do we raid? Let me check who's live. But get your votes in. We'll do whatever you guys want to do. Oh, it's close. 56% predictions, 44% raid. All right, we'll see how many are around afterwards. We can always raid after if we want to. Let me turn slow mode off then. Where is it? Customization, slow mode off. There we go. You are free. Alright, does that fit in? Uh-oh, what was that? What's happened there? Oh, there we go. There we go. Newcastle versus Arsenal. Get your guesses in the chat. Newcastle versus Arsenal. First game today. Predictions in the chat. What are we saying for this one? Slow mode is off. 2-0. 1-0 to Arsenal. 2-0. 2-1. 1-1. Alright, we'll go for 2-1. Bournemouth v Man City, 3 o'clock today. God, we've got some massive games today. I mean, green arrow or red arrow could be decided after the 3 o'clock games because Arsenal, City and Liverpool will have all played. Put which game you're predicting as well so I know which one to register it against. Bournemouth v City. Bournemouth v City. What's the predictions for this one? Just 1-0. 3-0 City. A lot of people saying 3-0. You reckon they get as many as 3 despite the injuries? Ipswich versus Leicester. Huge one. Fighting for survival, these two. Who's going to win this one? Ipswich versus Leicester. Ipswich still looking for their first win of the season. Two all. Alright, 2-2. Liverpool versus Brighton. Huge one for the Salah captainers. What do we think for this one? Liverpool v Brighton. 4-1, 4-1, 3-1, 2-1, 4-0, 3-1. 3-1 to Liverpool. Okay. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Forest v West Ham. Can Wood do it again? Can Wood score again? I think that would be... I think he's on 4 in his last 5, is he? Or 5 in his last 4? Something mad like that. He's on 7 and 9. I can tell you that much. 1-0. 3-2 to Forest. 2-1 Forest. 2-1 Forest. Okay. Southampton versus Everton. Perhaps another massive game in terms of relegation. The relegation battle. Southampton v Everton. Guesses in the chat. What are we saying? 0-0. 0-0. 0-0. Really? Okay. No goals. I actually don't hate that guess. Wolves v Palace then. I mean, lots of you got Mikalenko and some Pickford owners, right? Wolves v Palace. How will Palace get on without Eze, without Wharton? Can Cunha register a return this game? 1-1 Cunha sent off. Get out of here, Flames. I'm not having that. 2-1, 2-1, 2-0. I mean, a clean sheet would be massive for the 8 Nori owners. I think 2-1 is the most guessed answer here. Slow mode's off, so keep your guesses coming. Just a few more. Spurs v Aston Villa. Spurs playing at home. No Van der Ven. What are we saying here? Thomas was waiting for that one. He's got a Spurs profile pic and he says, hang on, did you say 6-0? Was that the one before? Because there's no way you just guess 6-0 to Villa as a Spurs fan. Rodgers hat-trick. 2-2. I reckon there's lots of goals in this one. Could be an open game. You reckon? I think 2-2's 2-1. Alright. Wow. Man United versus Chelsea. 2 more to do. Man United v Chelsea. How will Big Rude do around Nistelrooy before Amrin takes over? Can Palmer score again? 3-2 to Man United. Will we see a new manager bounce? Let me turn the music down. Bloody hell, it's loud. Man United v Chelsea. 2-1. 2-1 Chelsea win. 4-0 Chelsea. I'll tell you what, Amrin's coming in at just the right time after this game, isn't he? Palmer double hat-trick. 2-1. 3-1. Okay. Last one, Fulham v Brentford. I know lots of you have got Bumo, Visser. Some of you got Fleck and Pinnock. So that's one to look forward to on Monday night to wrap the game week up. Fulham v Brentford. Final guess. Get your guesses in the chat. One 0 Fulham. 2-0. 2-1. 2-1 Brentford. 3-1. 2-1. 2-0. Okay. Okay, who's live that we can go raid? Let's have a look. FPL Ryan, is he still live? Or is he finished now?
We are live.
Oh no, he's just finished. Is anyone live still? That might be it. because we're 7 minutes over the deadline now. Don't think we can raid anyone this week. No, I can't find anyone. I'll tell you what, let's leave it there. It's been an absolutely banging stream. No, we don't want to raid like Rapt or Harrow. I like raiding newer channels to like go support them, right? And help them get discovered, I suppose. As Mikey says, that's a wrap. So let's call it there. It's been an absolutely banging stream. It's my favourite stream of the season. I really enjoyed that. And if you did, do hit like on it. Make sure you subscribed. Good luck this game week. I hope you'll absolutely smash it. That's it from me. Focal out.